Thomas Jefferson had a whole plantation of children by black women. It didn't stop him from being a racist. I said Thomas Jefferson had a whole plantation of black children with black women. George Washington had a whole plantation of black children with black women. So what are we talking about? Don't we have racist Southern Republicans who fathered black children with black women? Did that stop them from being racist? Did that stop them from being a bigot? Did that stop them from being white supremacists? So don't come to me and say just because a black man had children with a black women, that means that they don't prefer light skin or white skin. You Negroes are out of your mind. You Negroes are out of your mind. You Negroes are out of your mind. Thomas Jefferson had a whole plantation of children with black women. George Washington had a whole plantation of children with black women. Just because you laid down and made a baby with a black woman does not mean you don't think light skin is better. And it does not mean you don't think white women are better. Cut the nonsense out. Cut the nonsense out. I want to come to Taye Diggs for a minute. I want to come back to Taye Diggs for a minute. First of all, Taye Diggs, I salute you. I salute Taye Diggs. You know why? Because you are one of the few black male celebrities who canceled your Snow Bunny contract. I said I salute Taye Diggs because you are one of the few black male celebrities who woke up to your African consciousness and decided to cancel your Snow Bunny contract. I said, I salute Taye Diggs. I salute you, brother, because you are one of the few black male celebrities who woke up to the hell you were. You deactivated your Willie Lynch chip on your own and you canceled your Snow Bunny contract. So Taye Diggs, I salute you, but I have a question. Taye Diggs, I have a question. Taye Diggs, even though you canceled your Snow Bunny contract, you are now with a beautiful Afro-Asian sister by the name of April Jones. Much respect to my Afro-Asian sister, 33-year-old April Jones. So Taye Diggs, you're kind of in the same spectrum with Chad Ochocinco. Now, to Chad's credit, both of his women were Afro-Latina, although the first one clearly didn't identify, so he gets a strikeout on that, and I'm waiting to hear back from Chad as to whether or not his current beautiful wife identifies as African or not, because if she doesn't, he struck out twice. Because in the world of revolutionary Pan-Africanism, you must be biologically African and psychologically African. In the world of Pan-Africanism, you must be biologically African and psychologically African. I said in the world of Pan-Africanism, you must be biologically African and psychologically African. Now, Evelyn Lozada was without question biologically African. But Evelyn Lozada was by no means psychologically African. Erica Mena was biologically African, but by no means was she psychologically African. And I'm wondering if Brother Chad's current beautiful wife, Sister Sherelle Rosado, much respect to her, okay? Much respect to Sister Sherelle. I'm wondering if she is both biologically African and her mother's black, so she's definitely biologically African, but is she psychologically African? So Taye Diggs, I want to ask you the same question. Taye Diggs, I want to ask you the same question. Taye Diggs, I want to ask, Taye Diggs is Sister April Jones, beautiful woman. No disrespect to none of your women. Sister Taye Diggs, Brother Taye Diggs, is Sister April a psychologically identifying African? Does she identify with African people Or is she running around telling people she Chinese or Japanese or Korean? I'm not sure what her other racial heritage is. I'm not sure which Asian nationality she descends from. But I'm wondering whether or not she is psychologically African. Because if you tell me that woman is not psychologically African when she's clearly black, you can see the Asian imprint, but she's clearly black. But Taye Diggs, if I find out that our beautiful sister April isn't psychologically African, then you struck out. Why divorce a snow bunny only to marry a mixed race sister who doesn't want to be black? Taye Diggs, why marry a snow bunny only to marry a why divorce a snow bunny to only turn around and marry a mixed race sister who doesn't want to be black? So Taye Diggs, you got a few more questions you got to answer as well. Let me come back to my big brother Snow Bunny Shannon Sharp. Let me come back to my big brother Snow Bunny Shannon Sharp. Let me come back to my big brother Snow Bunny Shannon. Shannon, wait, I got it. Wait, before I go to Shannon, Chad, I forgot something Chad said. But let me check something before I say this. Chad Ochocinco, you said, quote, when speaking with Shannon, Chad Ochocinco said, when I buy a pack of Skittles, brother Chad, you said, when I buy a pack of Skittles, you said, when I buy a pack of Skittles, I don't pick and choose which ones I'm going to eat. When I buy a pack of Skittles, I don't pick which ones I'm going to eat. When I buy a pack of Skittles, I don't pick which ones I'm going to eat. Brother Chad, what the hell does Trayvon Martin Skittles? What in the hell does Trayvon Martin Skittles? What in the hell does Trayvon Martin Skittles, the color of Skittles, got to do with you being loyal to African women? What does that have to do with it? And furthermore, Chad, if you're telling me color doesn't matter in your dating choices, Chad Ochocinco, you say you are as colorblind with women as you are with the Skittles in the pack. So, brother Chad, if you are just as colorblind in the selection of women as you are in the selection of the Skittles you eat, have you ever married a black woman who was your same complexion? I'm just asking a question. Brother Chad Ochocinco Johnson, you claim that you are as unconcerned about skin tone as you are about the colors of the Skittles that you eat. If that is true, have you ever married a woman who is your complexion or darker? I think we know the answer, so can we please cut out the bullshit? Let me come back to Shannon one time. And again, I respect both of my brothers. These are not personal attacks. We're dealing with the psychological state of black men. And while black men don't feel that they need to be obligated to black women, while black men don't feel they need to be loyal to black women, because guess what? Guess what, family? Guess what, family? Guess what? 95% of white men marry white women. Let me say it again. Let me say it again. Let me say it again for the people who don't hear me in the back. 95% of white men marry white women. Let me say it one more time for the people in the back. Let me say it one more time for the people in the back. 95% of white people marry white people, but 25% of black men marry non-black women. Wow, look at that. 1 in 4 black men will marry someone who's not black. See how the white man sticks with his? See how the white man, yeah, he go dating non-white women, but it's not an epidemic like it is in our community. Yeah, the white man, he marries out the race sometimes, but it's not an epidemic like it is in our community. 95% of white men marry white women. 25% of black men marry non-black women. And when we control for income, the more money the black man makes, the more likely he will end up marrying a non-black woman. And the black man marries outside of his community more than all other men in America put together. Let me say this again. Black men in America marry outside their race more than all other men in America put together as a percentage of your demographic in society. You really want me to believe that your racial inferiority complex plays no role in your selection of mates? Brother Chad, respectfully, brother, because I like Brother Chad. I was a fan of yours when you played. But Brother Chad, do you really want me to believe that your dark skin had nothing to do with why you pursued light-skinned Latino women to be your wives? Do you really think I'm that stupid? You're dealing with a psychologist, bruh. This is what I do. I analyze human behavior for a living. I've studied it my entire life. Do you really think I'm silly enough to think that your dark skin had nothing to do with why you pursued light-skinned Latina women to be your wives? Shannon Sharp, you are too intelligent. Shannon Sharp, you are too intelligent, Shannon Sharp. For me to believe, for you to think I'm going to believe that your dark skin has nothing to do with why you only date white women. You are too intelligent to think I'm going to believe that crap. You and I know, Chad and I know, we all know that your dark skin color and how you've been treated as a result of your dark skin color. I said your dark skin color, Shannon. Your dark skin color, Chad. And I belong on the same spectrum, but I happen to be proud of mine, and I don't date out my race. But your dark skin color has a big reason to do with why Chad pursues light skin and why Shannon only dates pale skin. There's a psychological defense mechanism that was articulated by the European father of white psychology, Sigmund Freud. There was a psychological defense mechanism that was articulated by the European father of white psychology. And it was called projection. Let me tell you what projection is. This is a psychological defense mechanism. Projection involves individuals attributing their own unacceptable thoughts, feelings, and motives to another person. It's called projection. Chad, Shannon, Terrell Owens, and all other black men, especially celebrities who only date non-black women, you are projecting your self-hate onto black women. These allegations that black women called you ugly when you were a kid, these allegations that black girls didn't want to be bothered with you when you were in high school, I'm not so sure that they were true. And even if they are true, you had some feelings of self-hatred and insecurity yourself. And you are projecting onto black women what you feel about yourself. I said you are projecting onto black women what you feel about yourself. I said you are projecting onto black women what you feel about yourself. So let me ask you a question. Because see, Shannon said he thinks Taye Diggs allowed the black community to make decisions for him. Well, guess what, Shannon? Are you not aware, Brother Shannon, that in every other culture, in every other community, are you not aware, Brother Shannon, that in every other culture, in every other community, are you not aware, Brother Shannon, that in every other culture and every other community, people's decisions are influenced by how it affects their community? Did you know that, Shannon? That in the white community, people's decisions are affected by how they affect other white people. In the Asian community, people's decisions are affected by how they affect other Asian people. In the untouchable community, people's decisions are affected by how they affect other people. In the Arab community, people's decisions are affected by how they affect people in their community. Only in the black community, Mr. Shannon Sharp. Only in the black community, Mr. Shannon Sharp. Only in the black community, Mr. Shannon Sharp, do we make decisions without taking into account how it affects other black people. So when you make ridiculous statements like, Brother Shannon Sharp, respectfully, when you make ridiculous statements like, I think he allowed the community to make the decisions for him, you don't understand how community works, Snow Bunny Shannon. Snow Bunny Shannon, you don't understand how the community works. Community is a compound word. It means common unity. Community is a compound word. It means common unity. That's what community means, Shannon Sharp. I respect Taye Diggs that he took into account how his community felt about him marrying a privileged white woman. I appreciate Taye Diggs for being affected by that. The problem, Mr. Shannon Sharp, is the fact that you are completely dedicated to white women who you know only date you because you are rich and famous. Shannon Sharp, there's no way under God's heaven you're going to convince me that you don't know the white women you date are only dating you because you are rich and you are famous. And the sad thing about it, the sad thing about it is you are willing. Many of you rich black men, celebrities in particular, you are willing to risk your financial success just to sleep around with white women. And that, sir, is a damn shame and a crime against African ancestors. But before I move on, I want to ask Chad, Terrell, and Shannon, and all other bunny hoppers in our community. Before I move on, I want to ask Terrell Owens, Chad Ochocinco Johnson, and Shannon Sharp a few clarifying questions. I want to go back to the black girls called y'all ugly in school, and that traumatized you so much that you're dating black white women in your 40s. All due respect, gentlemen, that sounds like a bunch of, as Shannon would say, bull jive. That sounds like a bunch of, as Shannon would say, bull jive. That sounds like a bunch of, as Shannon would say, bull jive.